Okay, to be honest, I feel so obsessed with this hair. Like, I don't think I'll get over it. Like, it's the color for me. Yeah, guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the third episode of the Lessons I Must Learn series, and it's all about embracing change. I think this will be a short video. Yeah, and I just think it's a very necessary thing to learn, especially continuously. Yeah, because for a long time I had this negative connotation of what change is, and whenever someone would tell me like, oh my goodness, you've changed, or hey, we may change, it used to be something I perceived to be negative, and I realized like it doesn't necessarily have a negative connotation towards it, and actually sometimes change equals to growth. Even with opinions, sometimes, I don't know if it happens to you, like, have you ever thought of probably opinions you had previously, like even 2 years ago, and like how now you think so differently? I think, I don't know what example I'd give, but for me, I would, for instance, say feminism. Like, what I thought feminism was has probably evolved, and for me to realize maybe, oh my goodness, when I used to say this, I wasn't being as inclusive as I thought or whatever, and maybe after gathering more knowledge and information, I'm able to be like, you know what, I've actually changed my opinion, and this is what I think it is to me, and stuff like that. I remember also having a conversation with my friend, and yeah, it was about love languages. And for a long time I used to, okay, first of all, I don't think people should choose their love languages. I think all matter. I mean, yeah, so anyway, to just go back to what I was saying. And I mean, for a long time, I was those people of like, oh my goodness, I don't think gifting is my love language, or I don't like gifts and stuff like that. But you know what? I just realized that I actually like gifts. I really appreciate it. And I think for me, especially if they are thoughtful, like when someone probably knows you so well and they can actually buy you something that you actually like. For me, I think, I don't know, it's just something about it, or like something someone sees and they think of me and they're like, just this reminded me of you. That is really, I just realized I really valued that. And I would never have admitted it, and I don't even, I can't place a finger on when like I had that mind shift, but I still think for a while I was still very kind of reluctant to accept it and embrace it and be like, you know what, I've actually changed my mind, and okay, I like gifts as well. And yeah, so I don't think necessarily change is a bad thing as well, and I don't think there's a way someone can go through life without even changing. And sometimes even experiences we have change you, and sometimes change you forever. Like, you may have experienced loss, so grief can really change you. Sometimes even like your mindset towards things really changes. Like, personally for me, like probably a couple of years ago, I was very keen on planning for this future, this grand future, like 30 years from now, here's where I'll be, this is what I'll have. But I think I have come to become this person who values more intentional and more like intentional things, being more present in my life, in other people's lives. And I just remember this one time I was like, it was like my resolution, I think, in 2017, and my plan was to actually meet up with everyone on my contact list, just so it doesn't, like, just try to maintain those connections. I mean, I didn't do it, but now I'm at a point where I actively try to do that. Not that I will like meet up with everyone in my entire contact list, but I try for the people at least who matter to me, to at least make time for them whenever I can, whenever they're also available. And I think it's such a good way to live. And I think for me that I came about because of loss, and I just realized that I had people who are very dear to me, and just seeing them maybe starting to wish that they actually enjoyed their life and lived more, and stuff like that. That realization came to them like quite later on, like literally when quote unquote time was no longer there. And that just really broke me, because it was like, how do you, like a lot of people, you literally leave maybe to work or whatever, but you can't be assured that you'll be there tomorrow to even enjoy like the fruits of your labor and stuff like that. So it's like, if you're not taking moments each and every day to enjoy where you're at, like I don't think you will die happy or something of the sort. So for me, that's also like a significant shift I've had in my life, like where through loss and all that, I've come to appreciate the present a lot more than planning for the future. Also like my financial habits have become very different. Things that I value, things that I pay for, and nowadays like very different. I think there's a time I used to probably spend a lot on maybe buying clothes and stuff like that, but nowadays I am more keen in spending my money on experiences. If it's me with a friend experiencing a restaurant together, trying a meal together, those are like moments that I really now value. Traveling, just making trips if I can here and there. And yeah, I think as time goes, we change, and it's perfectly fine. You shouldn't feel the need to do what. No, you shouldn't feel bad when someone tells you that, oh, you've changed or something of the sort. And even if like we change like our mental, let's say like the opinions we have and stuff like that, also physically, there are changes that we experience, and I also think there shouldn't be shame around that. Like for instance, I don't know what happens, like those days you're like, when you just used to it and nothing used to happen to you, and you just really miss those days. But nowadays things aren't the same, and I don't think there's any shame about it. Like even if someone has changed in their physical appearance, in whatever, I don't think you have the right to like call it out or make them feel bad about it. And sometimes someone might have changed in how they look physically and whatever, but you might actually be the one with the problem, and them, they're perfectly fine. They feel their best. They feel like they look their best that they've ever been in their lives. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share today, and probably just a reminder for you as well. If you're also in that transition phase, there's a lot of things that change once you come out of that transition phase, because sometimes it's really very necessary, yes, and also things you discover about yourself. Sometimes you may discover, what, I actually need to actively maybe seek help, like for my mental health, or I need to change up a few things here and there that are taking me time that no longer serve me, and it's okay. I think even if you want, like, your passions might also change as you become more exposed to things, as you probably even have more resources to access certain things, and you might be like, okay, you know what, I might have studied this, I might have done this, specialized in this, but in this moment this thing isn't bringing me joy, or this thing isn't serving me as it used to, and you know what, I think I want to do something else. I've changed my mind, I no longer want to do this, and it's perfectly fine. No one is like a master of everyone, like, or people aren't the determinant of your joy or anything. So if there are any changes that you've made in your life, whatever, it could even be in your space and stuff like that, even in your dressing, maybe you nowadays want to wear more color and whatever, and maybe some people think that's being too much or whatever. It's perfectly fine. Like, do colored braids, dye your hair, do whatever you need to do that will make you happy. Remember to live in the present, embrace change, and especially if in turn it makes you happy, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Yeah. And see you on the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me for this few minutes. Tune in for episode 4. It might be here in like maybe 2 weeks or whatever. But yeah, I hope you're keeping well. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like this content. I mean, like the video, share it with someone else, and yeah, you can always engage me in the comments as well. Bye bye.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun.